Sign up now at elevate.miami.edu for my course, Organized Rhyme. Looking at the word legacy, while involving some wordplay, I'll use the first syllable to build upon. We'll use the first syllable, leg. For the second syllable, we'll use an. And for the third syllable, we'll use the word knee. So now we have leg and knee. Can we use it in context with legacy? Let's just see.
Prepared for the worst, expect nothing less than the best. It's wartime, so I'm strapped with a gun and a vest. It's me against the world like Tupac Shakur in his prime. In the field going hard, working overtime. Give me mine, or I'ma have to take it, no faking over here. I don't do it for the fame of the chairs of the crowd. Only applause you might hear when you're rapping. It's the sound of that heavy metal clapping. Block eye.
What up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of What Words Are Worth. And today I got an MC, engineer, producer, does everything in the studio that you need to get done. And he goes by the name of Fokis. And Fokis from the Lower East Side. He's worked with acts such as Big Daddy Kane, also worked with Nas's father, Oludara, and also worked with Fat Joe, Punchline. I mean, the list goes on. And today we're going to talk about his Docu-Album. That's right, a Docu-Album. So we're going to find out what that's all about. I got a chance to check it out on YouTube. It's a pretty cool thing that he did with it. Welcome to the stage, Fokis.
Yeah, what up, my brother, Wordsworth.
Yo,
overdue, baby.
Right. So right now you're overseas, from what you told me, right?
In Europe, man. I've been out here since July 10th.
Okay, what you up to over there?
I'm doing two things actually. One, I'm into virtual reality, and
okay, hold on. Listen. I wasn't even gonna put it on the screen, but that was my first question. So let's go.
Get right into it, man. COVID happened. I was touring. Things were going fantastic for me before COVID. I mean, things really started to develop. I was in Europe. I got to tour with Das Effects and Master Ace in 2020.
Right.
And then I went back home to take a break. I was supposed to start a run with Jizza. Then COVID happened. So obviously the world shut down. But I've had developed a very good relationship with Do It All from the Lords of the Underground. There's a whole story of how we really got connected. But I interviewed him for another documentary that I'm working on. It's called The Show Must Go On. And upon interviewing him, after the interview, he explained to me how he hosted an event in virtual reality and got paid for it. So I was intrigued. Like, what do you mean? He told me about the Oculus Quest. So I just bought it right on the spot.
Right.
And I have to tell you, it completely changed my life. I felt like, wow, finally, for the first time, I'm early to the party.
Yeah.
I feel completely connected to this. And I've been on a mission ever since, really just promoting virtual reality. I started doing live shows in VR. And it was
You were the first one. You were the first one I saw that I knew, like, as a person that I could be like, oh, Fokis is doing that. I seen other people dibbling, dabbling on the net, but like when I heard about it, was like, yo, Fokis is doing it. And then I checked in on watching you do it and like having in this set that you would have and everything like that. So yeah, you were the first one doing that early.
It was crazy, and I just got to say that it was something that just came naturally. It was pure passion. It was something that I just really believed in. I know that we were early at that time, and we're still a little early now, but I have no doubt in my mind that this is the future because, as you get a little older, you don't go out as much anymore. There are some people that maybe have some handicap issues. There are some people that may have money issues, geographic issues, and this solves all of that. And for me, what was really the caper of it all, I decided to do a ticketed event. So I did a show where I booked LG and Razkaz, and I was blown away by the response. Like, incredible. Like, we all made money from our homes. The people were entertained, had a great time. And then I did another ticketed event with Sadat X and Nine. Incredible. And then I knew that's where this was the future. So I started working on developing my own app. So I have my own app. It's called VR Nightlife.
Okay.
Hopefully we're launching by September, just a very small portion of it, which consists of a record store an art gallery called Discovery Music Zone, where the focus is to give artists a real opportunity to be discovered by real people and give people an opportunity to discover real artists. I mean, we have Spotify and these things are great, but I believe that with Spotify, it's so easy to just get lost in the shuffle and just be, you might get overlooked. So we developed something that gives people an
Yeah.
opportunity to walk into a virtual record store. You see the vinyl on the wall and in the shelves, you hit it, you click on it, a UI pops up, music plays, you have the opportunity to learn more about that release, learn more about that artist, and then you can also add it to your crate. And what this does is, let's say you added 20 selections to your crate. When you log off, when you take the headset off, you're going to receive an email with your 20 selections that automatically send you to that artist's profile, because we want to just be able to create direct connections so that artists, they pay. I mean, we're charging nothing to start, like $10 for a 30-day campaign, right? Which is nothing. But basically, it gives the artist the opportunity to see the actual person that likes his content, so
Right.
that this way the artist can build a relationship with that person and that individual. And Spotify is great, but when I see my analytics, and it tells me my audience is coming from Germany or from here, from there, but I'd like to know who who these people are. That would be very valuable to me.
Right.
So, we created something that I believe is going to help not only artists, I think is going to help lovers of music and arts. And then, like I said, in the back of the store, we have a gallery. So we'll be doing like art exhibits. We'll be doing like poetry readings. The idea is to just continue to get people to come in there at least once a week for different events, check out the music, and just build something from the ground up. So I'm really excited about this. It's been stressful, but that's actually the main reason I came to Europe. I've been setting up meetings and I've been setting up workshops, doing like with the youth centers here. And we're doing like these VR block parties to really just intertwine the world with Germany and vice versa. New York with Germany. So we're doing graffiti workshops in VR, DJing in VR. And yeah, it's just I love this stuff. So I initially spent my own money to come out here, do these meetings, and thankfully I've been able to get some bookings to do these events. So, and then the other half of it is promoting my new Docu-Album. And
Yeah. And I wanted to kind of delve more into you having this being your own manager, label, artist, and you've been doing it for a while. So
whew,
what is that journey like for you, controlling your own destiny daily? Like how do you maintain sanity dealing with this? Because you're putting on so many different hats. You put one hat on, got to put on another, and a lot of times that's the
this
um
way.
yeah, it's all good. That's the thing a lot of times that kind of brings an artist to defeat.
My brother is not easy, you know that.
Yeah.
And I'm a stubborn-headed dreamer, is what I always say. I'm a stubborn-headed dreamer, and all it really takes for me is to see one person that I can connect with. If I can connect with one person, that I know I can connect with two. The problem is traditionally music, it's a business. So why would this DJ, why would this promoter, why would this organizer want to just promote your music for nothing, right? Doesn't make
Right.
sense. So I get it, in New York, I played the game of getting the record promoters. I paid them, at the time, I don't know, whatever, 3,000. And for 5 weeks, 6 weeks, my song is playing on 197, Power 105. But as soon as that 5 weeks, 6 weeks run out, the record stops.
Yeah, yeah. The
So,
results, man. Try that's where, I think a lot of people, like you saying, with the dreaming aspect, us being artists, we always think this is gonna be it. This is gonna be it. I invested in it, and this is gonna be it. Somebody's gonna hear it. I tell people every day we playing lotto. We wake up, every song is lotto, every opportunity. We're trying to hope that ticket is the one. But yeah, I got you totally on that.
and I just got tired of um I don't want to depend on anybody. You know, I'm not
Yeah.
one. I don't like to depend on people. I like to have my own. Like I used to have my man. Shout out to my man Jeff, who he was making our beats. But then I was like, yo, Jeff, can you give me a new beat? And he's like, yo, write a rhyme first or do this. And I sent it to him. I'm like, damn, but I need the beat to write to. So I just said, I'm gonna go buy MPC myself, and then I'm gonna figure this out. Same thing
Right.
happened with the engineering and so forth and so forth. And I do love this. I really do. I genuinely love it. I don't like a lot of the BS and the politics and some of the crazy people you have to deal with. But I just learned to create my own world
Right.
and just say to myself, I have a mortgage that I have to pay, so
Mm.
I have to make money.
Yeah.
I have children, so I have to make sure that I provide. So if I could make similar to what I was making at my last job, then I'm cool. And that's kind of the approach I took, and I just made it that way. So I don't have the fame, which I don't want anyway at this point, like I'm cool. I don't want none of that. I did before though.
Yeah. I
I
think we
did the,
all did. I think we
yeah,
all did.
I did the dumb shit in the club with the bottles and I did it all. But get older and you realize that ain't it. And yeah, at the end, it's really just about you do things out of necessity and you find a way to make it work. And I love this. So I had to figure out a way to make it work. And for me, what really helped me was one, the internet, and two,
Yeah.
like getting exposed to Europe. These are the two
Yeah.
things that really allowed me to keep going.
So let's get into the docu-album. I think it's a very interesting idea. I was able to watch it, and I really like the way that you're able to weave in the narrative storytelling. It's pretty much a movie with an album. It's pretty much a musical as well. Watching it, so it felt musical like.
What's up? My name is Fokis. I'm an MC, producer, and engineer from the Lower East Side of New York City.
You on vacation?
Nah, I'm going to Europe. I got a couple of shows out there. I'm going to finish up this album.
Oh. You still rapping? Ain't you too old to be rapping, my G?
Viejo ya, look.
I see y'all still doing the same thing, man.
Yeah, nigga, still
man.
getting money.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna get up with y'all later, man. Y'all have
Alright, my nigga, be safe out there.
Be safe. We can't be living off of dreams out here.
I was on my way to the airport when I bumped into some old friends on the corner. Clearly, you could tell they were hustling. We greeted each other, then one of them with a little smirk on his face said to me, Focus, you too old to be rapping. I told him, you too old to be trapping. Matter of fact, you too old to be yapping. Your lips like a bitch, I was thinking I should smack you. But I didn't, I had to keep it cool. A wise man should never argue with a fool. That's a rule of thumb where I'm from. Sometimes you play dumb just to make them think that they won.
I was watching it also as I teach film and TV production. So like, yeah. So watching it, I'm like, people don't understand. Like, just to show him walking with the bag this way, you got to move the camera over here, and just these one little cuts you're doing are dope. Like the
But I learned on the fly. Bro, because
but I'm watching it, so I'm enjoying it, and watching how you're using kind of like your third person self in the suit kind of to be the narrator and in these different arenas. So I read about it, said it's has themes of perseverance, age in hip hop, and connecting with fans. So what was the idea behind it when you first started making it?
Words, one of the biggest things, you going to Europe, you know what that's like. Fortunately for you, when you went to Europe, you dealt with the booking agent, you had your, Ace, everybody, so everything is set up. Me was a very guerrilla grassroots kind of a thing. I started out initially with LG bringing me out, so I'm forever grateful for that. And then, I got to run with Onyx, I got to spot dates, but it's like I never really had like the official booking agent, the official, I tried to work with Karen, shout out to Karen, and we did a couple of things, but we never got like the official. So, but the one thing that always happened is every show that I would do, no matter where I am and who I'm with, the people would always come up to me after the show like, yo, Focus, I never heard of you before, but yo, you were incredible.
Right.
Yo, you were the best. You were this. And they buy them and the merch flies off. But I had such a difficult time having people react that way when I'm home and I put something online and selling the merch online, it's like night and day.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I know that the people like this, you know. So I was like, I gotta figure out a way how I can get people that don't come to my shows and don't get to experience me as an individual. I gotta get these people to buy in. So I came up originally, I was gonna do a YouTube album. I was like, I'm just gonna make an album that the audio is just on YouTube. We want to hear it because I want to get discovered. And then it evolved into doing this, and I said, "Oh, I'm gonna make this docu. Oh, I'm gonna tell the story. And it just evolved and evolved and evolved, and then it came together to this. And originally, I after editing it, because it was a lot of work, bro. There
Yeah.
was, you know, some
Now,
scenes
now,
that
now look. My next question: how long did it take you to gather the footage and edit it? So, talk a little bit about that because I know watching it. I'm
wow,
watching it. So,
you know, um, I've been back and forth to Europe so long I can't remember the dates, but I do know that I left. I want to say I did like the after Thanksgiving run to before Christmas run. This is
mhm.
when I did all of it, documented everything. Of course, I had some stock footage from back in the day, but basically, let's call it 3 weeks of filming in Europe.
Right.
Then I flew my man to New York because I was going to have a friend of mine. I asked him if he could excuse me, if he can record me with the tuxedo and this concept. And he was
Yeah.
charging me an arm and a leg. And I was like, damn, I could buy a ticket for my man to come here. And I just got to give him a ticket. So that's what I
Yeah.
did. I flew him here for 10 days. I flew him to New York for 10 days. We shot it. And then the editing started. I mean, the editing it took me like months. I would say like he left in January. So basically from like February, March, April. And I left in, I want to say, I don't remember, May or something. I left. So I had like the first cut done. So it was like
Yeah.
4 months. I had the first cut. I came to Europe to do like a series of screening events.
Oh,
And
cool. Cool.
this was great for me because it gave me feedback. I
Right.
didn't know what to expect, but I got some feedback. I got some critique. I got some things. And after that, I was like, man, I'm not gonna just put this on YouTube. I'm gonna submit it to film festivals because I think it's bigger than this, and I'm gonna put it on Amazon Prime and everything. And then I had a conversation with a friend of mine and his fiance, and it was like, man, but you know, this is really good, and you know, like just get it to the people and this and they kind of persuaded me to go back to my original concept, which was this was for YouTube because it's about discovery. So I went back to the concept and I decided I'm gonna put it on YouTube. I'm still gonna put it on Amazon. I'm still gonna submit to film festivals. But the goal and the objective is yes, selfishly, I want to reach more people. I want more people to discover me. But the other side of it is I also want other artists, other creators, because I think creativity is one of the most important things, and that's what's kind of lacking in music now.
Yeah.
It's okay to be original. It's okay to struggle. It's okay. Not everybody's going to be Jay-Z. Not everybody's going to be Nas. It's okay. But you make good product and connect with people, and in due time, you know, you'll get yours in due time, you know, and that's kind of like what I really want to push. And I want to push that. Like I'm for the underdogs. I'm for the guys that don't have the sponsors, the big, you know, I'm for
Yeah.
those people. And that's kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, I was watching it. Got a lot of great feedback in the comments. They were like, people were like, "Man, I've been waiting to see something like this. This motivated me. Yo, this is so dope the way that you did it." And I think it's doing what you intended for it to do, as far as getting that buzz and people. I think just being able to recognize the creativity. And I wanted to also tell you, like, you're one of the most prolific people that I know
Thank you,
that
brother.
I'm able to watch what you're doing. I'm not able to keep up with everything you're doing, but
A lot
I'm able
going
to,
on.
yeah, but I'm able to recognize it. So, you know, on Instagram, we all try to do our little likes here and there, but we can't, you know, we can't watch everything, but we try to see, okay, he got this song out. I got time to check that song out. You know, she got this video out. I can check that video out. And when you get a chance, when we on those little vacations, those flights in the hotel, let me throw on. I never heard such and such album, and it might be months when that album came out, but we finally get to catch up on each other's projects. later on. We might have 2 projects out by the time you catch up to a project from a while ago. So I wanted to say it's dope seeing how prolific you've been since I've known you, and then having mutual friends and crossing paths from just like working on songs and things like that. You're constantly evolving with the way you do things too. So I've seen the virtual, now I've seen this Docu-Album and things like that. So where did this all start from? So like, what's the origin of your name? Where did you get Fokis? Because now I can see the representation of it manifesting.
You know, I was in a group before called Crisis, and it was like the group ended up, we were starting to make noise, you know, working the underground circuit, and then the group broke up, and that was like maybe the 3rd group I was in that ended up breaking up. And then I just realized, this was like 2000. I was like, man, if you really want to succeed in this music thing, if you want to succeed or whatever you're doing, you got to be focused. And that's where the name came from. I asked my brother to create a logo for me. I was like, yo, I have this vision, make a cartoon of me, and done. That was it. And I'm a graffiti writer from back in the day, so I understood the concept of marketing. So I'm putting stickers everywhere, and I knew how to always do that and just connect with people. And that's where the name really stems from, you know?
So I got these certain questions I always ask, which I love asking these. So what are we doing today? We writing on paper, we using a pen, computer, phone in the head now. Where we at with it today?
Crazy. Today we on the phone with it, you know, but before the phone, I was writing in Pro Tools. So I was, you know, I got my studio, I play the music, I come up with 3 or 4 bars, I press record, go in the booth, record, come back, and keep adding on. But as I started to, like, I work on a lot of different projects and a lot of different things. So I needed to get organized, and putting it in the phone helped me be super organized. So it's phone all the way right now.
Okay. You know, it's crazy. Yesterday, I'm just on YouTube, and it's trying to figure out what I want to watch.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't even know they had like a little mini, I don't want to say documentary, like a clip, and it was called Punching Rapping, and it was showing all the like known artists and artists that do not write rhymes no more. Like it was, and Just Blaze is talking about it, like, and all of that. And it's just crazy seeing like not the baby, Lil Baby, he's like, nah, I don't write nothing. I just and it, like mumbling. And then if they come up with a line, go back, next line, like doing the whole song like that. And for me and for you, you know what I'm saying? I know what's coming up, you know, making beats in the studio or at home, because time is money. You get what I'm saying? So what do? You like making stuff at home, or when you go out and travel or on a plane or whatever, you know, writing or making beats?
You know, it's the beauty. For me, the beauty is that I have my own studio. So I built my basement out to be my sanctuary. You know, I built my backyard, and so I mean, I'm making beats. I don't make as many beats as I need to. You know, I should be making. I have a gang of beats, but I should be making beats every day, and that's what I got to discipline myself for. And I don't write every day, and I should, you know, but I'm just, again, working on so many things. But I pretty much work on the spot. I put the gear up, create something. Even if it's halfway done, I just leave it there. Tomorrow, get back to it. Also, like my recording process and writing process, I don't know, like I said, I'm working on various projects. So I might pop this song up, work on this one from this project. I get stuck, then I stop this one, go to the next one, see if I get 2 or 3 lines of inspiration, and, you know, and I kind of just do a lot of that. So I have a lot of incomplete things.
Yeah.
But I pop it up, I get inspired, add to it, get back to it later, things like that. So and I work from home.
Okay. So when did you kind of like realize you had to be prepared to work anywhere? Because you know, at some point we were so comfortable at home. I write this, I meet you in the studio. All right. Then we start traveling. Then we started getting requests for verses. So ain't no real you know what it's like overseas. I got you right now. They got that money right there. So you ain't gonna get the luxury of home. So when did you kind of make that transition?
You know, what helped me was because I'm working on so many different projects, and I have like I try to make a schedule for myself, and I try to stick to it. So I would say for like the past few months, I've really been to a strict schedule of working. So now, like I had some sessions in Switzerland with my man for like 3 or 4 days. We finishing something up, and I went there specifically to finish this project. So every day we went to the studio. I have to make sure I get these verses done, because if not, then I'm wasting my time and wasting money. Doesn't make sense. So I basically push myself to make sure, yo, you could do a verse. I don't rush it per se, but if we came here to work on this song, I'm gonna make sure I get it done. And
Also, okay.
I would say that before that, I was more like, all right, just give me the beat. And yeah, when I get home, I'll finish it and I'll send it. But I
Yeah.
try to avoid that now. Just get it done.
Well, another perspective you're able to shed light on is the fact that you've also been the engineer. So you understand the sitting there of an artist, taking forever and so on and so forth. So you're able to understand that level. So that's why, early on when I was younger, I really didn't really understand the engineer's time. I didn't respect the engineer's time. Because I'm just showing up worried about my verse. The engineer's here, they're here to record your verse. This problem. And then as I got older and then also recording myself and other things, you start to be able to empathize with the engineer. So of course, you going into the studio there, you're like, I don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste nobody's time. So that helps out a lot. So when you're being a producer as well, what do you start off with first? Do you drums first, sample first? No, how you feel about no drums?
So really come and rewind a little bit to the engineer thing, because I had a professional recorder studio for like 10 years in Williamsburg, East Williamsburg. And I have to tell you, I got to the point where I hated working with rappers, bro. Like it was just like there were some people that were very professional, but like, man, I hated it.
I know how we are.
I hated it. And then I love mixing though. Like I love mixing because I feel mixing is always a new opportunity to discover new tricks and new things. And I like to just be by myself. So that's my passion. But recording, I hate it now. I really do.
Yo, when I say I don't want to like separate myself. I don't want to separate myself, but to be honest, I'm on point with studio stuff. Yeah. But if I'm an artist, I'm a rap. I'm roll with the raps. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yo, brothers don't show up for a session, don't text or call, late, late, like hours late, even with another session they know you got coming up. And yo, can we do this and rescheduling like the time?
Oh, man. Yeah, it's bad. I've dealt with so much. It's so crazy that I've dealt with the people that, I don't have enough money. And I was just like, I'm done with this. Like I had a period where I bought my crib, and then I was like, I'm paying a mortgage and I'm paying this rent. So I subleased to one of my people's.
Yeah.
He didn't want to renew. So I was like, all right, I'm shutting this down. I'm going to set up shop in my basement, because I was like, I'm good. I had the experience. I worked with so many people, and it's great, but it's time to move on. Now getting to the drums, the sample, I think I want to say it varies, but I think sometimes I go through the samples first. I don't like to just like loop things. I'll take samples and then I want to chop them, reverse them. I don't want people to know that I used this record. That's my main mission as a producer at the moment.
Right.
I don't want people to know what I sampled, what I used, and stuff like that. So that's pretty much the point for me. So it could vary. I could start from drums. I can start from, my people just bought me some wine. I can start from drums. I can start from sample. It varies. And I think the no drums thing is cool. I think what's not cool is everybody copies. Like shout out to Rock Marcy, who I think is incredible. I always listen to him from back in the day. I really like Stove God, I think he's dope as shit. Stove God,
Right.
you know, Conway, these guys, and it's great. It's a sound, you know. But then
Yeah.
what's not great is then you have everybody copying that.
For
You
sure.
know, yeah, I was out here in Hamburg, and there was these guys that I'm not gonna say no names, but and even in France too, then you got the guys doing the toot 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 toot.
Oh yeah,
like, they doing that.
Oh yeah. I've heard that even this with artists in the States doing it.
That,
You know,
to me, that's crazy. In my
that's
opinion,
to me. I feel you. I feel you on the fact that we know that this is West Side's ad lib. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's like we know that's
theirs.
that's theirs. It's almost like if you do the like the Jeezy, we know that's Jeezy's.
Yeah.
You know, we know Pete Rock when you don't stop. Like, you know, like certain people got their own tone and their own ad libs. So I definitely I feel you on that for sure.
Yeah,
Like
you know, I don't want to knock nobody, and I'm not here to insult because there's
nah, but yeah,
we're living in a very interesting time right now where like on YouTube, there's tons of negativity. They talk about it's like so much negativity and I don't know. Sometimes it may come across as glorified and even like out in Europe, sometimes people are a little fooled and they think that this is so cool, but it's really not. You know, a lot of the stuff is not cool. And I just think that if people were to just able to open their minds a little bit, be more creative, and just like be yourself, be creative. It's okay if you fail. It's totally fine. You know, just try again and keep it going. But yeah, I just couldn't dig when I hear that, you know, then they
and like you said, you know, there's an understanding that some people are new and some people are just they're inspired and influenced.
Yes.
They don't mean no harm, but I think we need to at least say that, like, you know, if you hear somebody doing something original, just try to figure out your own way of that particular thing. The same way with rapping, like we're all pieces of different artists and rappers, but somehow we figured out how to make our own voice from it.
Correct.
So,
correct.
You know, I can pick which artist I am made of, but at the end of the day, I know, you know, some of our favorite rappers had the same cadence of their favorite rapper until they became who they are. So I understand the influence aspect, but find that integrity within yourself to kind of say, okay, I need to come up with something like that, but within my own realm. So what's up with? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, because when you say that, like I'll never forget, like shout out to Sadat X, that's one of my big brothers for always. You know, he always told me that like he was inspired by Grandmaster Caz. Like that's who influenced him, like Grandmaster Caz. But they don't necessarily sound like each other. You know what I mean? Like Sadat
don't sound like nobody. One
of one, unique, but he was influenced by Grandmaster Caz. So that to me is a perfect example of how you can be influenced by somebody, but then you create your own over time. Of course, you know.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yes, Sadat is a one of one. Like the voice, everything, delivery, you know, cadence, everything with that. So as far as like your writing style, especially looking at the Docu-Album, you can see that the storytelling is very necessary. Not only on the Docu-Album, but over your career, you've had these stories and you like to talk about if it's something you're living or something somebody's gone through. How did you make that a conscious decision to say, you know what, this is important for me to rap about these topics this way, me presenting it like that, as opposed to, you know, us coming up, a lot of backpack battle rap stereotypes. So what made you?
You know, for me, of course, I was influenced by, you know, like my favorite rapper growing up was Big Daddy Kane, you know, of course, Nas. And then when Wu-Tang came in, it was like, you know, you know, for example, like when the whole lyricist lounge thing happened, like let's say when you guys popped on the scene, for me, it was a different thing. It was like, whoa, this is like, I don't want to say that I felt intimidated, but it was like, whoa, because these guys they're so witty and they're so sharp in this. So it really showed me like because there's a difference between like the underground backpack stuff and, you know, but then like I said, there was a difference between like what, you know, like you punch, like some of the stuff that you guys were doing was like, for me, was just like, it added another element to hip hop as a whole.
Yeah,
So I think I went in phases. I think like most of us, we influenced by this, and as we go, we get better and stuff. But I went through my phase with, you know, maybe I wasn't doing toot, but you know, maybe I was doing Jay-Z Gia or whatever, you know.
exactly.
So
Yeah. I was Cool G Rap with the guns and the crazy talk. You know what I'm saying?
G was, you know, so I think that as I got older, as I got better, I learned to try to be more original. I always thought storytelling was, I think if you can tell a story in a song, I always felt like, wow, that's incredible that somebody can do that. So I always wanted to just get good at that, you know. So I really always try to be good at that. I wasn't like the super punchline master with like the witty, funny, you know. I could have maybe focused on doing that, you know, but I don't know. There were a crew of people that they were incredible at that. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna let them do that because I'm not really gonna compete, you know. You kind of know where you at with it, you know, and I just feel like you can't do everything. Maybe there's some people that could do every fucking thing good, but you can't be great at everything. You know, I think you could be good at everything, or you could be great in this and okay here. And I kind of found what worked for me, and I just try to perfect that as I continue to try to just perfect it as best as I can. I don't want to stay with one style. I want to try new shit. If it works, it works. But I'm not afraid to try. I have songs that I play now. I'm like, damn, what was I thinking? You know, but it's okay. I'm not afraid to try. I'm not afraid to fail. It's totally cool with me, you know?
So with the storytelling and looking at the Docu-Album, was the story written ahead of time, or did you let the journey and everything write the narration after?
I think I did it that way.
Okay.
I think I did it that way because, you know, I set forth on a goal, like on an agenda and a mission to go do this, but I didn't have it all together, you know. But I was just filming everything and had my man, we just filming. Once I had everything together, then I was like, okay, let me make a song now for when I'm traveling from Vincent, Germany to Luxembourg. Let me make a song about me traveling. So that was that. Then let me make a song. So it was a combination of both. I set forth on a mission, document the stuff. When I got back and had everything, then I knew, all right, I'm gonna put it together like this. This is gonna be the story. This is how I wanted to start. Boom, 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 and it came together like during and after.
Okay. So when you're creating, what's your atmosphere when you're creating? You know, does it matter time of day? Any, you know, I see you got the wine going on over there. You about to write, you know, what's this setting gotta be? I know it's still light out there. Are you going to wait until evening? And what's your setting for this?
For me, when I work, I like to have like my studio, I need it clean. If it's like messy, like I have a bad habit, I don't know, like I take the broom, I clean everything, I sweep everything, I have some music playing, I burn my incense, I need the incense going, and I just need to clean everything. Like I don't know, everything has to be clean, everything has to be in order, and then I kind of start. You know, I might get me some wine. I like to work early during the day, but you know, my biggest problem is I'm juggling so much shit that it's like I'm working from morning to night. I do my workout in the mornings, and then it's like start my day, and I'm working sometimes till 10 at night, especially if I'm working on a project. But if not, I try to start my day by like 6, 7, and then I stop, watch TV after that, and try to just chill. But I'm always working on something, so it doesn't quite work out that way. But for me, the vibe has to be incense. I need a clean environment. I can't work if it's messy. I can't work. My mind just doesn't allow it. If I'm being creative, I'll get me some wine. Sometimes I like to put like scented candles. Sometimes I don't know, but that's pretty much. I need everything organized. That's for sure. everything has to be organized, clean, in its place. If not, it's very difficult for me to work.
And then how long does it take you to write a verse or a song or make a beat? Because I know you said you show up to the studio, you got a certain block. So you're knocking these out in that block, but like on a typical working on one song, you got, how long?
You know what's crazy? A song sometimes can take me 24 hours to complete. A song could take me sometimes 10 hours to complete. But what I do is I go lay down this first, and I do a reference to everything. So I always do like a first draft, listen, study, blah, 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 and then re-record it. But I could go in the morning during my day shift and make the first verse. Then I have the chorus or something, and then I get stuck, and then I stop, do the rest of my work, chill, whatever. And then I might come back in the night, pop it back up, and finish the next verse. So in a sense, it's one day to finish a full song. Sometimes it might take me 2 days, sometimes, but yeah, I try not to put myself in a space where I'm like, I have to finish this song by this time, because if I'm stuck, I'm stuck. And I don't want to force nothing to be, I don't want
And
to
how
force
about the beats? How about making a beat?
the beat the beat is always 2 days, because I do something and I'm like, oh, this sounds hot. And then I might jump to another one. Oh, this is hot. I might do 3 in one day, but then I listen to it the next day. And then the
Okay.
next day is when I decide, and I might touch this. I'm like, all right, this one is done. Boom. So it's always at least one day for me for the beats. It's never like, oh, I made this beat in 15 minutes and then we went. No, I'll make it in 15 minutes, but then the next day is when I will finalize it, because I need to hear it again with fresh ears. And so at least one full day.
So I know the engineering situation, you like, I ain't really digging that. What about beats and rapping? You know what I'm saying? Which do you prefer?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think being a producer is an amazing job. I think it's one of the best jobs you can have in this industry, in my opinion. And I definitely want to sail off in the sunset, producing and making projects with this person. And I definitely want to do that, because it's great. You don't really have to deal with shit. You don't have to, I do love rapping. I love it, and I will always rap. I'll be 90 and I'm still going to rap forever.
Mhm.
Because it's for me, it's almost therapeutic now. I've learned to. I did a project with Oh No called This Thing Called Life, and that was the first time that I used music as therapy. The very first time that I
Mhm.
channeled like my stress and things that I was going through. And this is what music does for me now, rapping. Like,
Right.
it's like stress relieving, it's therapeutic. So I'll always rap. Like, I'll always rap. And I don't subscribe to the, oh, you too old, this, that, and no, it's music. It's music.
And
Period.
then what is it for you as far as like you write to every beat, or do you have rhymes just already laid out and prepared?
Unfortunately, man, I don't have rhymes laid out like I used to back when I first started. I don't have that. I don't. I write to a beat, and I really need to have just rhymes ready and laid out, But I just have so much shit going on that it's
Yeah.
just tough. So I try to just be efficient with my time. Because instead of just writing just to write, I could be working on the VR marketing. I could work on this. So I just try to be efficient with my time and what I'm doing.
And then how are you picking the beats? So are you like, you make a beat and you like, yo, this joint right here, fire, but it's not for me though.
Oh yeah.
Or this joint is here, fire, it ain't really my style, but I'm gonna rhyme on it anyway because the beat is just that fire. You like, you got to go through these kind of chambers,
Yes.
deciding on the beat, and because you're making the beat too, which is put you in another, conflict.
So a lot of times when I make a beat, I just make it not for me. I make it just to make it whatever comes out, and
Okay.
then later I'll decide if I'm going to use it or what. But I love getting beats from other people because it brings something else out of you. But yeah, I think the beat picking process for me is very simple. If somebody got some dope beats, I listen through. When I know like, oh, this beat is fire, I just put it to the side. Oh, this is hot, I put it to the side. Then I have beats myself. I'm working on a song right now from one of my beats, and I always liked this beat, but I never did it for me. I always liked this beat, and now I have something that I want to say that works on this beat. So that's kind of how it goes for me. So for me it doesn't matter. I'm not like just trying to keep all the stuff for me. Nah, I want to work with people. I want to collaborate with people. I want to build. If I hear somebody and he's dope and this can work and I can add on to it, like, yeah, I'm not trying to save everything for me. I would love to produce more and work with more artists as a producer. I mean, I would love that. That's to me one of the best jobs you can have in this business, my opinion.
So then when you're making beats and you're writing these rhymes, what's the revision process? How you go, yo, this bar is whack, I'm gonna change this up. Nah, I don't like these drums. How do you handle that?
For me, it's very simple. I always lay down a rough draft when I'm rapping and making a song. I always lay down a sketch, always. And then I listen to the sketch over and over and over and over. And I feel like, all right, I could change this. I don't like this line or this. I always look about the delivery. That's very important. Like the delivery. When I hear a lot of my older stuff, I felt like I was just like rapping and not like I don't know. I feel like the delivery wasn't the way it should be, And
Okay.
over time, I developed that. When you're your own boss and you have no A&R, you have no this, So that's kind of what it was for me. I mean, I love my old stuff and it's good, but of course, you're supposed to evolve. You're supposed to get better. You're supposed to continue to learn and that's pretty much it. So now I record something, I listen to it a bunch of times, listen. Okay, now I'm ready to re-record it and do it the right way. So everything gets a rough draft for me. Everything is a rough draft. There is no just like, oh, this one take. Everything is a rough draft because that's how I can hear it and see like, all right, let me fix this. All right, let me tweak this. All right, now I'm ready.
And then when you're making your music and you got the studio. So to me, a lot of times people are making joints in the studio. And then when they're making certain joints, it's kind of like, yeah, I just like this record, man. I'm gonna make this joint, but not necessarily it may translate on stage. You know what I'm saying? So, sometimes you'll have records that are your joint for the album, but you never perform it. So when you're making these songs, are you gauging, okay, this joint right here, because your set list and so on?
Now, I would say like over the past like 3 years, 4 years, once I really got the experience of touring Europe and seeing what's working and seeing what's what and playing shows, now I know that. But I didn't before, like again, what it's like when you're in Europe, you see what people react to, you see, this is definitely gonna work. This is, so like now, like I got a record that this is gonna kill in Europe and everywhere. It's from a performance standpoint. It's a song from my project. It's called the Vintage Album that's coming soon, next year, I guess. But it's with me and the Lords of the Underground. And it's like it's like
energy.
It's gonna work. Yeah, it's gonna work. It's energy, like, and I kind of when I heard the beat, I knew it was Lords of the Underground. So I kind of did the chorus specifically, and I know it's gonna work. But yeah, to answer your question, I know that now. I would say 3 years safely. I know that now. I didn't before.
Right. And that's what I think is interesting about like being in the studio working on music. Like sometimes you're just in the studio working on joints and you're so engulfed in just working on your joints, you're not thinking about the performance of that record. So I love when you can make joints and you listen to that joint and you go, man, I know when I do this on stage. I think you have to make that connection, right? I think you have to be thinking every record like that for the most part, right? Like when I do this on stage, it's my mindset every time.
And it's crazy when you're writing the record and you know that this is gonna be something good for the performance, then you begin to incorporate lines and things because you know this is gonna be that's like it's so helpful when you know it off top, like, oh, this is gonna work in the performances. So I'm gonna do these little things that maybe it's a call and response, maybe it's a part where everybody always says this one part, this one, that's a blessing. You can see that in advance for sure.
It's dope. It's dope. It reminds me of like Fade to Black when Jay-Z's talking about encore. Kanye he's explaining it, and then they're cutting to it live being performed, and then cutting back to when they was presenting the idea and seeing how it came to fruition. So I think that's very, very key to working on music as people go forward, as we go forward, just kind of keeping that same mindset to do that. So what do you do when you get a creative block?
Man, when I get creative block, I just jump to another song because I just think I might be creatively blocked with this song.
Yeah.
But then I just open up another one. And then, even if I'm able to add 2 lines, 3 lines, that's progress. I'm cool. Yeah. So for me, creative blocks, they don't really they exist, but they don't really exist for me.
I agree with that. I agree with that too. Let me tell you, for me, if I feel like that creative block is there, I'll step away. I might go to the fridge, come up with a line, just because I changed the pressure of thinking on it so hard. So now I'm more relaxed. Let me go to the fridge. Now I'm in there pouring juice, like, oh, that's the line. Or one of the things for me too is one of my go-to songs, man, is Jesus Crisis. That Conway joint. Ooh, you better salute me. That beat and the tempo of it, the rhymes. I listen to that, and after I hear Conway on that, I'm in my bag now to come with my. I get in my bag now, like, man, I got something for this. You know what I'm saying? So,
Conway. What's funny out the country, but funny enough, who kind of taught me a little bit was like Punch. Punch was like, told me, he was like, yo, because I was like, damn, I'm stuck on this line. He's like, so change your line before. You don't have to be stuck on the line before. Change the line before into something else. And that kind of gave me that, because you're locked in and saying, this next rhyme, I got to get this next line because it got to rhyme with this one. But no, it doesn't. Come up with another different line. So little things like that taught me how to get out of being stuck. But when I'm like stuck, I just get out of this song and go to the next one.
What's so wild about it too, Fokis, as when we're younger, we had the luxury of being stuck.
Right.
You don't
have that
luxury. You feel
time is money, bro.
There's no such thing as stuck no more, because once it became a business for us and hired, now we're doing works for hire when we're doing these verses. We're basically we're our own self-employed doing these things. We're hired. It's like, if you pay Nike to make this product, and we're these corporations, we're our own entities and corporations, that there's no stuck. You get what I'm saying?
That luxury no.
That's kind of how my mindset works with it. And if there's deadlines, there's a lot of that goes on, in every industry. I don't care if you're talking about headphones, microphone, computer. There's deadlines and things set that the stuck word can't even be there. So just got to kind of revisit it. I think the mindset of if you were at work, you know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Which you are.
Yeah, you got to step away from your desk, go downstairs, take a break, and then come back to the desk, but the job must get done.
Got to get done. So what's your studio setup?
Oh man, I'm a Pro Tools guy.
Okay.
For mixing and recording, that's my thing. Reason is my weapon of choice for production. You know, I
Okay.
started with the MPC and all that, and I still have that, but I'm a Reason guy now. Reason 13. Shout out to my Reason gang, folks. You know, Avalon mic preamp, U87. I got a blue mic. You know, the Mackie HR24s, NS10s. I got a very cool, comfortable setup. I got my shit, you know, acoustically treated. Hey, I can't complain, bro. I got my 1200s. I have a very
Can
good.
you pause for a second? What's that for people out there? Like acoustically treated, that because that's important, right? Like,
Very.
explain that, because people know all the equipment, but they don't know about that aesthetic that you're creating this environment for your sound and so on.
Because, you know, sound travels, man, and that's the thing. And when you're mixing, you want to try to have an accurate as you want the sound to be as accurate and true as possible. You want to what's coming out of those speakers, you want it to be as accurate as possible, so that when I take it from out of here and I go over there, it's going to sound the same. So, you know, bass obviously travels, it gets trapped in corners. So you have to set up, you know, your bass traps. If your ceilings, you know, a studio really should not be a complete square, right? There should be angles, because the sound bounces off. So you want the sound when it travels from your speaker and it hits the sofa that's directly in front of it with the you know, the phone panel, that it dies and it's not gonna reflect and give you back false. So that's really, like, to anybody, man, I think it's a good idea if you are trying to have your own studio. Invest the money into getting somebody to help you acoustically treat your room. It's a lifesaver,
What is
really.
that process like? Is it just like something you Google online and there's like people that's professionally there for that?
Yeah, there are people that are professionally for that, you know, and some of them charge a couple of dollars, but it's worth it. It's worth
Okay.
it because, of course, some rooms are going to sound better than others. But when you get one of the, I mean, of course, you can go to YouTube and, you know, there's different things you can do,
Yeah.
which will be better if you did nothing. But if, like, you're really trying to, I don't know, really mix and get things done, it's a good idea to invest in getting an individual who can acoustically treat your room. They run tests, you know, they do these tests that
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's
It's
crazy.
almost
And
just, and everybody, you know, for the most part nowadays, a lot of us at home, we have these surround sound systems that they automatically have you hold this little thing up in the middle of the room. So your surround
that's
sound system could kind
that's
of
it.
gauge how the surround sound happens. So, you know, you're aware of what he's saying. You just may not have taken it to the studio level, because, you know, we know about, it's so dope how it's internally built into the systems now that they could kind of figure out the angles of where your sound bounces off and stuff like that. So
Exactly.
that's a dope thing. I haven't heard that yet, so that's a dope advice for some people out there that's building their
Yeah.
studio, doing
I
their
think,
studio.
you know, I think it's really because you're saving so much money already that you don't have to go to this big studio and spend these hours. Of course, you can have a great car but a shitty driver. So learning how to mix this all takes time. But if you want to learn how to mix your own stuff, the first thing you need is to make sure you have an accurate room, so that when you have this kick, it's
Yeah.
accurate, right? You know the frequencies, and this all this stuff takes time. But I would just say definitely invest in somebody to come treat your room as best as possible, and it's gonna help. It's gonna be a blessing.
And then after you do the mix, you're sending it out for mastering, or are you mastering too?
Yeah, so I'm doing two things. So one, I do my own mastering when I'm just like for certain projects, you know, I just do my own stuff. I use like Isotope. Isotope is incredible now, like it's crazy, and I just reference and I can get close. And then like when it's like something else, it's kind of like a project. I know I'm gonna make Vine or something. I use like this guy Chris Athens. Chris Athens is used to work at Sterling Sound. Chris Athens does. He still to this day he does all the Drake, Nas, Rick Ross. He's still doing all of that stuff. And he mastered my very first album, and it was incredible. It sounded incredible, and I always just stayed with him, and he looks out for me and gives me, you know, decent rent. He doesn't charge me the Drake prices. That's my go-to guy for when it's like, okay, I'm gonna put this on Vine or something like that. That's what I go to. I go to him.
So I like the fact that you're able to like gauge what to do yourself and what to delegate. Because I think that's important too. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm writing a song and I have a hook and I come up with a hook, I know I can't sing like that. So I'm gonna say, yo, I need to get such and such to sing it. My vocals ain't there. I wrote it, but I need to get this. And you, so I think that's another part of song making that's very important, knowing how to delegate. So even though you know how to mix and everything and master, you like, yo, but this project right here, I need to make sure this is sound a certain way.
If I'm going to Spotify and I'm just going to Spotify for some shit, I'm doing myself to save money. It's okay. But if like, yo, this is a joint, like this, we're gonna put this on vinyl, we're gonna do this, we're going to Chris Athens.
So can you give us like 3 songs or albums that you would want people to go check out of yours that you would say, yeah, check that out? You know, that reflects me and you get a good idea of who I am.
Sure. I think there's a project, it's called Seasons Change People Too. This is a double album that I did. This is going to tell you who Fokis is off top. What I really like about this project is that there's no features, like no names. You know, I have a lot of songs with features. I have a lot of features and things like that. But like this one is me. It's all me. I got like Chris Calico on the chorus.
Right.
That's it. The rest is all me. No, you know, no. I got Rel on the hook, but that's as far as like rappers and stuff. There's none. That I think people listen to that one, and then I think you listen to that one. To be honest with you, listen to that.
Okay.
That's gonna give everything right there. Of course, I have my baby coming out, the vintage album. I released 2 singles from there already. One is called "Show You How to MC," featuring Grandmaster Caz and Def Jeff. The other song is called "Let's Be Clear," featuring the UMCs. And this is an album that has like
you got Def Jeff. You got Def Jeff.
Def Jeff, bro. Def
Man,
Jeff.
let me tell you, I've been selling Jeff for the longest. Yo, man, he be spitting verses to me, and we be on the phone, be like, yeah, Jeff, yo, that verse fire, man. You need to come out with these joints. And yo, I'm glad you got him on the joint because I always tell him, I'd be like, yo, you got some joints, man.
Jeff is a genius. And you know, I didn't know that he was a part of the whole lyricist lab stuff and all that.
Oh, yeah, he was our Bill Belichick.
He told me, and I didn't know that.
He was our Bill Belichick, Andy Reid, you know, whatever way, Steve Kerr, Tyronn Lue, whatever way you want to put it.
He's a genius. You know, this project for me is like, I got an opportunity to work with my childhood heroes. That's what this project is for me. It's like it's like my gift back to, you know, it's selfish because it's like I'm working with my heroes, but it's like my gift back to. So it's literally, by the time it comes out, it's 15 years that I've been working on it. But I have all the legends on there. Like I got a joint with Big Daddy Kane and King Son on the same record. That's incredible. You know, I got the next single I'm gonna drop, I think, is the one with Brand Nubian, and I got all of them on there. And then I'm gonna do a B-side to that, and it's a joint I got with Mr. Cheeks and Mike Geronimo. So it's just like, if you're a hip-hop guy and you love the 80s and the 90s, you're gonna really enjoy this project, just as a fan of hip-hop, for sure, you know. But I think Seasons Change People Too will give you the gist of who Fokis is. So I encourage all people to go listen to that.
Go listen to that. Make sure you check out the Docu-Album. It is on YouTube right now, right? You can go check.
Oh, wait, one more thing. Let them, they got to also check out, if they want to know about creativity, they got to go check out Hip Hop High, baby, with Punchline and Wordsworth, Hip Hop High.
I was just thinking about that verse. I was like, yo, the song we got is Hip Hop High. I remember how long ago we did it.
We got to do a video to this song, man, because, you know, I remember I told Punch the Constant, was like, yo, I got this idea, we go do this. He's like, okay, yeah, that's dope. And then he said he's gonna get you on. I was like, perfect. And we gotta do
I gotta revisit it, but today with today the way it is, I don't think it needs to be overthought. Like I could just be kind of like sitting here, kind of just say my thing. You know what I'm saying? So
Visuals.
I'm gonna revisit that, man. I'm not sure. I was probably on YouTube, but
Yeah,
I want
it's
to.
on Spotify, YouTube, all that.
I'm gonna revisit that verse. I'm gonna do a video for it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
let's go, baby.
Nowadays, all I gotta do is say my verse. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
So I'm gonna
That's
say
it.
my verse. I got you.
That's it.
I got you
Let's
on that.
do it. Let's do it.
I got
Let's
you on
do it.
that. So
It's a great song. It's a great song. Everybody
yeah,
went crazy.
yeah. And it's one of those things like the visuals always help today. That nothing is old no more.
No, everything
Nothing
is
is
new. As
old.
it gets discovered, it's new.
Yeah, you know, it just has to be revealed. So it don't matter the time period. The more revelations of it and things like that helps. So yeah, man, this has been dope, man. So give us your social media, all your social media stuff.
Yeah, everything is pretty much Fokeezy, Fokeezy. My website, iamfocus.com. And I encourage everybody, when you get a moment, if it's Saturday night, Friday night, Thursday night, you just chilling, you want to watch something, go on YouTube and just pop up, hello, my name is Focus. I promise, even if you're not a hip-hop fan or you're not into hip-hop, I can assure you that you will enjoy at least the story. It's an honest, pure story. It's honest, and that's what I stand behind that, and I think you will enjoy it. If you like it, hit the like button, share it with a friend, tell one person about it, and that's it. We're just gonna keep moving with this thing and focus on reaching the people. That's the goal. That's the goal. Reach the people.
Well, Focus, once again, I thank you for coming on the show. I commend your prolificness of just putting music out, and then bringing up the hip hop high record and like us doing that so long ago. That song is still fire, but in between doing that, in between doing that to now, I've still been able to watch the journey and where you're taking it to, and I'm excited when the app is gonna drop. So I'm just admired that you're able to take hip hop to one level and then find a new level for it. So it's inspiring for me and motivational for me. So I admire everything you've done,
bro. Same for you, man. Same for you. I've been watching you. I've been watching, what you're doing, your progress, books, and your show. And I gotta thank you so much for replying right away. I forgot that I had your email. I hit you up on Instagram. I forgot that I had your email. I thank you for that, bro, because I'm grateful for the platform, for the opportunity to be able to share with your audience and to help get the word out. I'm not sure if you've tried virtual reality yet, if you had the opportunity to put on a headset and see what that's like.
I actually own Oculus with the computer, and I own Oculus MetaQuest, and I got the MetaQuest.
Oh man.
I got the real situations, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm low key, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't be talking about what I got, you know what I'm saying? But I have the computer with the wire with the real one. I got the headset. I got all that. Yeah, I'm a gamer, man. I'm a gamer, you know what I'm saying? But like I haven't played in a while like that. But I got the systems and all of that. I'll be on the low, man.
Well, listen, we're gonna build. I'm gonna send you an invite offline. I'm gonna send you an invite to the app or early access so you can see what we're doing. Like I promise you, like my main focus with this virtual reality thing is when I was younger, I was playing video games, 2K and all that stuff. But right. I got older and I don't really have time for that stuff.
Exactly.
So, but with the virtual reality thing, I found my focus was actual use case, something that has actual value that in my everyday life and other people can actually. That's what we developed.
Yeah, we have it at my school. My school, we got headsets now too. We got virtual. We don't got MetaQuest though. They got some other company that way they can control the content on it. But yeah, it's just what it is. I don't even want to say it's the future. It's the now, but it just needs to spread more.
It's gonna spread more with actual. You just need a reason. That's all.
Yeah.
I look forward to sending you this invite to the app. I'd love for you to come on in. You're gonna see what we're doing. I want to share with you the concept, and I think you are a perfect fit for our roadmap of what we're trying to do. Like you identify as the perfect candidate for someone who can continue to build and grow a business and build and grow the demographic, reaching people, because you are an older individual who's into hip hop. You're not necessarily going to the club so much anymore. You're not going to every show anymore.
Right.
But you have a tremendous amount of value, have a good following. So I just can't wait to get you inside there so we can build.
We gonna build, man. It's so crazy because we've known each other all these years. I don't even know if I ever had your number until like I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like
you might not even still have it. I don't know. Maybe you got it. I don't know. But yeah,
it's crazy. So we're gonna build for sure, man. So yeah, man. Once again, make sure you go get everything from Fokis. And like I always say to y'all out there, what are your words worth? Peace.
My brother.
Thanks, man. This was dope.
Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate it. And